And so my job is a combination of really keeping that long view on what the future needs to look like and planning for projects down the road. At the same time, we're dealing with day-to-day operations.
Okay, so
and that could include from mowing grass, to plowing snow, to filling potholes, doing all the things.
What about these roads? Do you take care of these or no?
So Mass Ave, we definitely grade. We'll bring the grader out and smooth this stuff out. There's certain things that we can do, certain things we can't do. And some of the things we can do on roads like this is we can put down a different type of surface other than just sand.
Yeah. Is it true that a lot of people want it to be kind of rough so people don't go down the road?
Sure. So there's definitely
so you got to deal with the neighborhood all the time too, don't you?
No doubt. So
it becomes somewhat political, would you say?
Well,
a little bit.
I would say everything's political. In its own special way. Tip O'Neill certainly kept it short and said politics is local.
Right.
So for here, and it's like no other small town, or I should say, and it's like every other small town in a lot of ways. But you really have to focus in on the constituents. What is it? For this stretch of roadway, it's not just the people that live here, but it's also the users of the facility.
Sure.
We have a very interested, I think it's the scallop fishermen and other people utilizing the dock out here that expect this place to be open and open in a way that is easily accessible. And we've taken our time to get down here. We could probably go a little bit quicker, but probably uncomfortably so.
Right. So, I'm interviewing you,
So the point of that is that we could do, and we will come in here and do some grading efforts to really help improve
but
the surface.
Keep it the way it is, not really add to the road.
No, we're not looking to come in and pave this.
Is there a budget for every single thing that you do? So when you look at this road and you go, it needs to be graded, do you need more money for these projects, or is it just something you have to constantly be like sharpening the pencil on? So
your first question had to do with do we have a budget for everything that we need to do?
Yeah.
The easy answer there is no, and likely that's never going to be where it really ought to be able to do what we do, and what even more than that, what the people expect us to be doing. So it's really finding a fit to be able to understand the operation, work together to truly figure out and develop plans so that when you do go spend that tax dollar and bring in grants or other funding sources to supplement that, when it goes down, when the project happens, it not only includes input from all the constituents and all the interest parties there, and it may not satisfy 100% of the people all the time, but you're going to get a much more well put together project that people will feel good about, and you do it with the most efficient use of that money. So again, there's some real expectations out there that we're expected to meet.
I know.
And we need to do a better job of identifying how to improve those facilities.
What is, like, when you wake up right now, here it is, it's just about summer's about to burst. When you wake up in the morning and go to bed at night, what is the thing that you're thinking of mostly right now?
When I sleep?
When you sleep.
When I sleep, so it's an interesting question, actually. Sometimes I have difficulty sleeping because I'm thinking too much about what's going on or how to solve a particular problem. Sometimes I sleep like a baby after a good day at work, and sometimes I'll wake up and not be able to go fall back asleep because I'm thinking too much about something that's going on.
Gotcha.
But it's funny. Sometimes something will pop into my head after contemplating it for sometimes weeks at a time, and all of a sudden I'll have one of those aha moments where an idea will pop in that it's sort of that idea comes together because I've spent time with this person and that association, and then this
So
department.
there's many things. It's not just one thing.
It is, and it's a constant thing that goes on. I have a great deputy director that's brand new as well, Chuck Larson. He's a Connecticut native.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't hire from within and bring the guys up?
So I had a unique situation where I was actually hired after the deputy was. So Chuck was hired and started, I believe, in February. And it's been actually, I think, really, really good in that because Chuck started the way he did, and my predecessor had retired by then. Mm-hmm. Chuck was sort of at the helm as deputy director for a number of months before I even came on. And the future is bright.
You heard about the fire chief?
Yeah, I did. I heard about it and read the confirmation in the paper today.
That's a bit of a shock.
That was
we just hired
surprise.
the guy.
Well,
what's the chances of that happening with you? Let us know now, please.
I would say I am all in.
You're all in.
The fact that we're relocating and my wife's taking a job here as well.
Yeah, right.
Goes a long way for me. For me, and I think for my family, that we're hardy New Englanders, and I think we can certainly deal with it.
Now, how did the whole thing with your wife? How did that happen?
Both of us being in municipal government now for some time, as our children have aged and gotten to college age, we've sort of had the discussion of what's next. And so for both of us, we really have enjoyed time when we do take time off along the coast of New England, from Maine, down through the Cape. And so we started to talk about what the future was going to look like with sort of an empty nest. And we said, hey, we should really start to think about and look towards the ocean. And
because you were inland.
We were
together.
Central Mass.
Yeah.
So ironically, a few years back, a colleague of mine, Brian Turbot, ended up leaving the municipality that I was working for at the time, the town of Millbury, and came to Nantucket as the finance director.
Yeah.
And so that sort of struck a chord with me.
Interesting.
And it really did open up my eyes a little bit. At the time, the timing certainly didn't work for me, and there was no opportunity. But when the opportunity did come up and I saw it advertised, I said, boy, that's sort of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as I saw it. And so I...
Was your wife already a principal at another school?
She was. Yeah. And so I threw my name in the hat and said, hey, what if? And took a chance, and long story short, it started to unfold, and it really started to become, I'd say, more of a scary reality because we realized early on that this was going to be a major change for our family to just up and relocate to.
But if she was principal there,
well, that's the whole point. The reality was this was never going to happen unless there was an opportunity for my wife in some capacity on the island.
Yeah,
and it just so happened that
it really just so happened.
It really did. No, so my son and I were actually skiing, and my wife was in her role as a principal was in the process of hiring a position at her school. So she was on the equivalent of like the Monster job search thing for schools, School Spring.
Yep.
And she texted me one night. I was skiing with my son and said, now I had already been down and had done initial interviews and had started to make my way down the path of more serious interviewing. And she texted me, OMG, Nantucket just advertised for an elementary school principal. And so she was sufficiently scared.
Would she have taken on another job, though, to come out here with you anyway and just done something different?
That's a really good question. I would say professionally, probably not.
Okay.
No,
so then you
I don't
would
think
have had to commute in a way and see her on weekends, or she'd come down and see you?
I would say I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have pursued it any further. No, I wouldn't have pursued it further.
You mean you would have?
I would have stopped the interview process.
So you knew there was an option that
I
she
did.
could have had the job here as well.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. So while I was interviewing, this unfolded.
Well, did you tell them that in the interview? Did you say, "Listen, my wife needs to be the principal, or else"?
No, not at all.
You wanted to get the job first.
I did.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So it just so happened that she was that good.
Oh, I mean, like
there must have been plenty of people that wanted to come out here and be the principal.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure how many they interviewed, but I will tell you, as I mentioned before,
Wow.
I was glad that I have more faith in her abilities in her position than I do in my own.
Okay.
And so I was glad that I had to go first.
Okay.
So
right.
yeah, so it's been a very interesting.
And then your housing situation.
Yes.
How's that work?
So right now, much to the laughter of my children, I've been living here in Sherburne Commons in assisted living.
Okay.
So it's a
3 meals a day.
It's an apartment, and I've been shopping and doing my laundry and everything on my own.
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest challenge, honestly, for me, the first month that I've been here, has really been the loneliness being here without my family.
Right. Well, so how many kids do you have?
3 kids.
And they're, you said they're already off to college?
Soon to be 18,
Okay.
19, and 20.
Okay.
We're excited to give them the opportunity to be here in the summer and during
so
college breaks.
So you're not going to stay at Sherburne Commons. They're going to find you something.
Yeah,
else.
we're going to find something else.
But you don't know what it is yet.
Correct.
Yeah. But the town can help you, right? I mean,
Well, there's
I
certainly.
don't even know how that works.
Yeah, there's opportunities out there.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of timing and making some of those come to fruition. So we're exploring options, and certainly, we're eager to move
Well,
forward.
you better let your wife know she's going to be coming for a ride with me.
I
As soon as she
definitely
gets
will.
here.
I definitely will.
I take everybody that's new for a ride.
So-
Isn't this cute? Look at this.
Oh yeah, we have quite a bit of built-in wildlife around the site here.
And they're good guards too. They'll let you
They
know when
certainly are.
something's going on.
So, Gino, I know
Yeah.
you took me out on an opportune day. Hopefully, this is National Public Works Week, by
Okay,
the way,
yeah.
as I mentioned to you, and we are
Is it-
getting together for some cake today to celebrate.
Where is it? Where's it happening?
I'm guessing it's going to be in the garage over here, but I didn't get the final word on that. But we can check it out.
Where's the cake?
Not here yet.
Oh, it didn't arrive yet? Did you hear about it?
Supposed
You got to put it on camera.
Today's your big day. You didn't hear about that? Make him think like it's for him. Anyway, getting back just a little before we go.
Sure.
I'm very interested in your job.
Yep.
And the education and how do you become. I mean, every town has one, right? Pretty much. Don't you
I
have to
would
have a
say-
degree in some sort of higher facilities?
I would say most towns have a director of public works in some manner of speaking.
Yeah.
I would say the old days of someone starting out as a laborer and, let's say, rising through the ranks to ultimately become the manager of the department, because of, let's say, the complexities of the position at this point, and a lot of the changes to environmental law as one, procurement being another, municipal procurement, a number of those sort of things.
Right.
So coming from an engineering background, I think one of the advantages is that the systems thinking, just the way to approach a problem, and to come at it from so many different angles, and not necessarily accept what may appear as the obvious answer, that there may be another way to skin a cat. So the point is that with my background in engineering,
I think you need an engineering background to have the position you have, right?
It's certainly it's advantageous.
Yeah, I think the town required it.
Well, beyond that, when I decided that this was going to be the second half of my career, I did go back to school and got a master's in public administration. So essentially an MBA, but for public service.
So you keep going.
So you got to keep going. No matter what, you got to keep pushing and keep learning. And whether it's my expectations for my own staff to continue to provide training opportunities and support them to do outside training on their own, as well as train each other. I'm here to hopefully serve as an example of that. So you have to come in. I think we're going into the main building.
Oh, we are. This isn't where it is happening. Okay, I thought it was here. Why a national week for
National Public Works Week?
Yeah, what's that?
So they started that American Public Works Association, the national and actually international association of public works folks, started celebrating National Public Works Week back in 1960, and they've been doing it ever since. Essentially, it's a time to recognize the people that do all this work. And I think from my end, it's helpful to use it as a annual excuse to raise the level of awareness in the community.
Right.
This year we did the proclamation at the Board of Selectmen, and we're celebrating with the guys today, just cutting some cake and laughing it up a little bit. And I think moving forward, we have some bigger plans. I've done events in other towns I've worked in, and we are looking forward to bringing some of those similar type of programs here. Involving the schools and some of the school children, as well as
that's good.
Bringing some other community
always bring the kids
together.
in.
Definitely, because a lot of it is, where we want to see the school system as a natural progression of opportunities for kids that are either going off to college or looking to stay on island and work.
Great.
As the DPW as a real source for a future.
You got it.
I want to live on island and either go away to college and come back and work, or just stay here and work after high school. And we want them to think about DPW as a real career option.
We need to celebrate the trades.
Definitely.
Oh, well, Rob, let's go have some cake.
A pleasure. Thank you.
It was fun.
Stop and Shop's finest decorating.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Just crunch right into that.